What's happening, good people? Yeah, your boy Jordan back with another video, guys. We got more Johnny Depp and Amber Heard drama. All right, so far so good, man. Like, obviously I am on Johnny Depp's side. That has nothing to do with him being a man. Got nothing to do with it. If it was the other way around, where, you know, Amber Heard was being mistreated, being abused physically, and there hasn't been any real proof of evidence of that so far, then I would be on her side. The fact of the matter is, we're hearing a lot of audio recordings now. We're getting some evidence, we're getting some proof now, and it seems like it was the other way around. She was abusing Johnny Depp emotionally, psychologically, and physically. Throwing the bottle at his finger, losing the tip of his finger, punching him, slapping him. You know, all these kind of things are coming out now, out to the open, and finally we actually get to see the side of Johnny Depp, man. We actually get to see his side of the story, and I feel like in this day and age, men are trapped, man. Like, for men, it's so hard to win cases and get your message across because women are more vulnerable physically. Not to say they are psychologically and vocally, because they are not. They are much stronger, you know, especially when it comes to emotions. So sometimes this whole facade of, oh no, it's just the man being abusive, no, he hit me, he done this, we almost look at the men and take it as the men's responsibility, and that the man's been abusive because he just because he's physically bigger. It has nothing to do with it. All right, but we've seen a lot of evidence so far, and it's looking like the case is kind of falling upon Johnny Depp's side at the moment, man. It's not falling as in negatively, but it seems as if he is winning at the moment. Listen, I'm not so sure. I don't know whether Amber Heard's gonna have a turn on the stand and have her say. I haven't really seen much of her so far, but I mean, there's been some witnesses coming through, man, and it's not looking good for Amber Heard, I must say. But anyway, guys, we're going to be getting into this video and this little audio recording here, and we're going to be reacting to it. So guys, without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
Finger got injured in Australia. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to pull up defendant's Exhibit 394, please. Mr. Depp, do you recall Mr. Rottenborn showing you this exhibit during your cross-examination?
Yes, I do.
And can you please explain when, relative to your finger injury, you sent this text message?
I mean,
That's the day before.
he takes his time, man.
At the bottom, it says, I cut the top of my finger off. What should I do? Except, of course, go to a hospital.
Australia. The time difference, sorry. Yes. That's what I said.
And so when, relative to when your finger was injured, did you send this text message, to your best recollection?
Take your time, Johnny boy.
This looks like it's
Take your time.
time to me.
And in the middle here, it says, her obsession with herself is far more important. She's so fucking ambitious. She's so desperate for success and fame. That's probably why I was acquired, mate. What did you mean by that?
So true. That's true. I mean, he's pretty much saying she's using him for clout.
I meant exactly. I meant exactly what I said in this text. It seems it had become clear that there were she seemed to take more care and importance in going on auditions, going to the Met Ball, or going to any sort of premiere or opening or whatever, where she could be photographed.
Scope the question, Your Honor.
Sorry?
What?
I believe he was responding to what he meant by what he wrote in his text message.
Objection to what, bro?
Said, and now he's going beyond
All right,
the
I'll
scope.
sustain the objection. Next question.
Thank you, Mr. Rottenborn.
Sir, if you could just answer the question, Mr. Depp, please.
Certainly,
Direct your
sorry.
attention just to your attorney, okay?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Depp, last week, Mr. Rottenborn showed you an audio recording where you referenced your finger getting cut off in Australia. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to play a different portion of that recording that came before the portion that Mr. Rottenborn played. So if we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343, and we will be playing the portion from at 1 hour, 54 minutes, 11 seconds.
She looks like a
1 hour,
Karen, bro.
6 minutes, 10 seconds.
She looking like a damn Karen.
It's early, it's quick, it's so not, you're not interested in not fighting. You are guaranteeing a fight. When you do that, and I've told you this so many times, you guarantee, if you were interested in not fighting, you would be respectful if you needed the space to make, you would be careful not to perpetuate the fight longer by saying, I need a few minutes, and then actually honoring that. How can I trust you that it will be a few minutes when you've done this in the past and disappeared for hours? You know, I got mad at you in Australia about this. I said, baby, I want to trust you. It's hard for me not to try and work it out. If you want to be the person that's like, I need to cool down, help me do that, give that to you. But I can't give it to you if you always let me down and fuck up and forget.
Because I gave you a time limit, because I said I'll be back in 3 minutes. So I'm just...
No, it's
if that
different.
If it happens...
It's different. You never...
If it happens, I'm just going to say, look, I need some time. That's it.
I'm telling you, that will make it worse.
No, it won't, bro. He only wants. This guy wants peace, bro. Listen, let me tell you. Look, it's not all you women. It ain't all the ladies out here. But for ladies that are like Amber Heard, who wanna always confront things and wanna, men want peace. We just want peace, man. Like we don't. Some of us don't like confrontation. Like if we have an argument, that is that. Like we need to go walk away. Like we don't want to talk to you. All right, you got, like, how are you not giving the man the space to go and cool off? Why do you have to keep confronting the man? Just leave him.
No.
Let him be, bro.
I guarantee you it will.
If you're fucking throwing punches...
I'm not talking about throwing punches. I'm talking about an argument.
Right. In arguments, you tend to throw punches.
I'm talking about arguments. I'm not talking about the times when it's got physical. I'm talking about arguments. I'm talking about arguments. I'm talking about arguments.
Yes,
Talking
in our
about
argument...
fights. Earlier and earlier and earlier. Now you split. You take off right away. You don't deal with the issue. You don't deal with the confrontation, and you split. Whether it is, and then you do it for an undeterminate amount of time. You do it without actually respecting. When you do give me a time, like say I need a few minutes, you never.
Damn.
Mr. Depp, whose voices can you hear in that audio recording?
Ms. Hertz and myself.
And there was a mention about Ms. Heard getting mad about something in Australia. What did Ms. Heard get mad at you about in Australia?
I love the way she just looks up at him like.
There were many instances where Ms. Heard would get upset, angry, and argumentative, and violent in Australia. There were many times. The one that was the day when my tip of my finger disappeared.
I shouldn't laugh, but come on.
When she arrived in Australia, she complained that an attorney who was explaining to her
Objection, Your Honor, is hearsay as to what he alleges her attorney was explaining to her. That's clearly
We
hearsay.
can move on, Your
Okay,
Honor.
yes, ma'am.
In the context of this audio recording that we just heard, what, to your understanding, is Ms. Heard referencing when she says you split?
I would excuse myself from the situation. I would try.
And that's that is not
so that nothing escalated.
exactly. That is not someone that's
If
abusive.
given the chance.
Someone that's abusive, yeah, and wants to be abusive stays for the fight. The fact that he splits, he runs away, he avoids arguments, he avoids confrontation. That doesn't sound like a man to me that is being physically abusive. So a man who wants to be abusive to a woman is going to stick around as long as they want to get their anger out, to get all those emotions out, to be abusive. This guy don't want confrontation. He don't want fights. He doesn't want arguments. He wants to walk. He doesn't want to be near that. Come on, man.
To allow things to escalate, Ms. Heard would take it to the very extreme, which ended up with my finger being chopped off. So I rather thought it was the best idea to avoid things like that.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 272. I believe this is another document that you saw during your cross-examination. Do you recognize these text messages?
Yes.
And these were after your detox on the island, is that right?
That's correct.
Now, where it says here, this was the right thing to do to speed up the process, what are you referring to there?
When we were on the island and I was going through the process of detoxing from the opiates, which was a very unpleasant and powerful, painful process. It wasn't working with Miss Heard there. I could not properly detox, as every day was another problem.
Yeah.
So I asked we leave the island and go back to
Crow, bro.
Los
Crow.
Angeles.
Look at your ass dressed in black.
I asked
Crow.
Ms. Heard if she would please allow me to get a bungalow at the Beverly Hills Hotel where she and her friends could go for, I needed 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, anything I could get where I could finish the detox by myself without any unnecessary interruptions or unpleasant interruptions. To which she replied that she was felt like I was throwing her out and abandoning her after all she had done for me. When the fact is, though, no matter what I wrote to her mother and to her, I needed the time.
I don't know what you're writing down, bro. I don't see how you're gonna come back from this. I really don't.
I would have not been able to detox properly without that time alone. And she reluctantly gave me the time. And I sent her and her friends to Beverly Hills Hotel and in a bungalow, and went through the detox by myself in Penthouse 3 for the next 5 or 6 days.
Mr. Depp, last week, Mr. Rottenborn showed you a video that was taken of yourself where you're slamming some cabinets. Do you recall that?
Wow.
Where are you in that video?
That's
All right, guys, we're gonna watch that. Actually, we're gonna watch that video of him slamming cupboards and stuff like that. But let's get to this video, guys. For me, someone that's abusive, yeah, like wants to stick around, like someone that loves being abusive. And let's get down to the T. Abusive people, they love it. They love abuse. No, like people that, it's like taking a drug. It's like it fuels them. So if you have an abusive man who's physically, emotionally, psychologically abusive to a woman, he enjoys seeing her in a vulnerable state, pain, all that stuff. Like, it's like a murderer. It's like like they get some kind of thrill off the moment. And for me, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing is a man that doesn't like confrontation, doesn't like arguments, doesn't like fighting, and I just feel like he's been rifled in, backed into a corner where he's had to, it's made him angry, it's made him explosive, it's made him become emotional. And you know, all these, you know, people, at the end of the day, we're human beings, we're gonna end up retaliating. If sometimes we're backed into a corner so much, there's only so much we can take until we explode. And so, like this video they're talking about of him slamming cupboards, I mean, listen, we of course we get frustrated in moments there where we feel like we're being backed into a corner, but the amount of abuse that she's given him over the years, psychological, physical, like there's gonna be a moment in time where he's gonna kick off. You know, we're only human. But for me, it doesn't seem, this guy, Johnny Depp, man, he doesn't seem like he's abusive for me. Every single video and audio, I keep hearing him say, I want to split, I want to split. She says it, you always want to split, you always want to split, you always want to run. Because he doesn't want to, you're the one that's confronting him all the time. He doesn't want to deal with that, he just wants peace. For me, she's already lost, man. Like, someone who's abusive doesn't just split and run. Someone that's physically abusive stays and likes it, they get the adrenaline off it, you know? Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We will react to the slamming of the cupboards in the next video, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video for that one. Guys, here with your boy Jordan, and I'll see you in the next video.